I'm Tiffany Wuebben, and I'm so glad you're here because today we're talking about one of the simplest yet most effective strategies for growing your practice and keeping your patients on track: scheduling and pre-booking their next appointments. Now, I know what you're thinking. Pre-booking might not sound all that exciting, but trust me, when done right, it can work wonders for patient retention, practice efficiency, and overall practice growth, which is the biggest goal. By the end of this session, you'll be ready to make pre-booking a natural and seamless part of your patient care process. Okay, so why is pre-booking such a big deal? For starters, it simplifies life for both you and your patients. When patients leave your office with their next appointments already on the books, there's no need for them to remember to call later, and it drastically reduces the risk of them forgetting or delaying their visit. Even better, pre-booking ensures you always have a healthy stream of patients scheduled ahead of time, which helps you plan more effectively, avoid last-minute gaps, and yes, the biggest goal, growing your practice. It's all about making things easier and organized for everybody. But how do you get patients on board? It's simple. Make it part of the appointment flow. Instead of asking, "Would you like to schedule your next visit?" say something like, "The best way to stay on top of your care is to book your next appointment. Let's go ahead and reserve your next visit for April 16th at 4 o'clock. Notice how the phrasing emphasizes the importance of pre-booking while removing any hesitation. You're assuming they're ready to do this, and quite frankly, why shouldn't they? They should be totally on board with wanting to schedule their next appointments because their care is important to them also. Plus, the confidence and clarity on how we approach that conversation goes a long way. Timing matters too. The ideal moment to bring it up is as patients are wrapping up their visit. For instance, if the hygienist has just finished reviewing their progress or the dentist has just explained the next steps, they can mention how important it is to stay consistent with care. We encourage our hygienists to reserve the patient's next hygiene appointments. When this happens, we see patient retention increase and cancellation rates reduce. Then the front office team can seamlessly step in to finalize the details for any appointments on the restorative or surgical schedule. It's all about creating a smooth handoff that doesn't feel pushy, but rather it feels supportive and proactive. Now, here's a golden rule I swear by. Give patients a reason. Connect pre-booking back to their health and convenience for them. For example, if a patient just had a cleaning, you might say, "Your teeth are looking fantastic. Let's look in the next 6-month appointment now to keep them looking that way." Or if a treatment plan requires follow-ups, explain how staying on schedule will ensure the best results for them. When patients understand why pre-booking matters, they're more likely to commit and follow through. Another great strategy: use technology to reinforce the process. Many of our practices now use automated reminders which can be tied directly to pre-book appointments. Whether it's through text, email, or your patient portal, sending friendly reminders about upcoming reserved visits ensures patients stick to their commitments. Now, besides making life easier for patients, pre-booking has some pretty incredible benefits for our practice. For one, it boosts patient retention. When appointments are scheduled in advance, patients are far less likely to drift away from their care routine or go missing from your practice. It also improves efficiency. You can plan ahead, manage workloads more effectively, and avoid these dreaded slow periods where the schedule feels like Swiss cheese. And here's a fun fact. Practices that prioritize pre-booking often end up generating higher revenue because their chairs stay consistently full. It's truly a win-win for the patient, your team, and your bottom line. We like to see our reappointment rates as close to 100% as possible to also ensure low attrition rates. And since we're talking about efficiency, managing your schedule is key. Make sure you're reviewing it regularly to identify patterns and adjust accordingly. For instance, if you notice a spike in cancellations on certain days, consider how you can proactively fill those times. Some practices find it helpful to keep a short call list. Patients who are flexible and can jump in any earlier in a certain slot at a short notice if there's such a change in the schedule. It's all about maximizing your resources and keeping things running smoothly and making you in charge of your schedule, you running your schedule instead of your schedule running you. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of teamwork. Everyone on the team, from the front office staff to the clinical team, has a role in encouraging pre-booking and keeping the schedule optimized. For example, front office staff can highlight the ease and convenience of scheduling in advance, while the clinical team can reinforce the importance of staying consistent with care. When everyone is aligned and working towards the same goal, patients notice, and it makes them more likely to follow through and show up. All right, it's time for a quick recap. Pre-booking appointments is a simple but highly effective strategy for growing your practice and keeping patients engaged in their care. To make it work, build it into your workflow naturally. Assume patients are ready to book and connect it to their health or convenience. Use technology to send reminders and keep communication open, and make sure your team is aligned and proactive in supporting pre-booking efforts. And don't forget, it's not just about filling the schedule. It's about creating a seamless and supportive experience that keeps patients coming back for years to come. Now, here's my challenge for you. Take a look at your current scheduling process. Are there opportunities to make pre-booking a bigger focus? Maybe there's room to tweak your phrasing, improve patient communication, or align your team more effectively. Choose one area to tackle and start measuring the difference. You might be surprised at how these small changes can add up to a huge impact. Thank you so much for joining me today. Pre-booking might not be the flashiest topic, but trust me, it's one of the best ways to simplify patient care while building long-term success for your dental practice. Keep fine-tuning your strategies, and I know you'll see great results. Take care, and I'll see you next time.